nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's meeting we're going to start with our first audience comment. Is anybody in the audience wish to address City Council? You, sir. Come on down.
You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
And the first item up for bids today is...
It's the beautiful Adele Tower. This gorgeous water tower in the heart of Novi houses enough water to supply the whole community. And it can be yours, if the price is right.
Mo, what is your bid on this fine product?
I'd like to bid $2 million, Bob.
Marianne, what did you bid?
$540.
Dave Landry, what did you bid?
I'd like to bid $7,000, Bob.
And Tattoo, what is your bid?
$1, Bob.
And the actual retail price is $549. I'm sorry, what was that price again?
$549,000. The price is right. It really is a big deal.
Deal of the day can be yours. First up is David. David, you've already won a fabulous Mustang convertible. You want to hold on to that, or do you want to take your chances at curtain number 1, 2, or 3? One of them is the big deal of the day. What do you say?
I'm going curtain number 1.
Curtain number 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, open up curtain number 1.
It's a remote-controlled couch. No traffic stops in this one. Sirens aren't included.
Well, it would have been nice. All right, brings us to number 2 here. Claire, you've already won a fabulous trip for 2, a boatload of money. You want to hold on to that, or do you want to take your chances at curtain number 2 or number 3? One of them is the big deal of the day. What do you want?
Let's check in with the audience. I'm going to keep my trip.
You're going to keep your trip?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Very happy with that.
All right, he's going to keep his trip. What curtain would you have chosen had you made that choice?
I'm going to say probably number 2.
Number 2. Blair, I hate to tell you this, but that was the big deal of the day. Let's open up curtain number 2 and show him what he turned down.
An all-new expanded state fairground with 0 zoning restrictions, all the signs you could ever want, and tax abatements until 2099.
Oh, no.
I want to reconsider.
Oh, no, reconsider.
Reconsider.
No. We said too much already.
I looked it over, and nobody's in jeopardy.
The category is Great U.S. Cities, and the clue is the mayor of this great city claims that it's 85 and sunny somewhere in the city at all times. Wayne, what did you write? What is Go Green? Oh, I'm sorry, Wayne. That is incorrect. What was your wager? What is Go White? Next to Dave Stout. What did you put down? What is Juno? Oh, I'm sorry, David. That's incorrect. What did you wager? Oh, everything. Dave, that drops you to last place so far. On to Brian. Brian, what did you write down? What is number 6, also known as Novi, Michigan? It's the greatest city in the state, if not the whole country. You're absolutely correct. What did you wager? You wagered it all. So, Julie, what would you be willing to wager?
We wouldn't have wagered it all, but we are still looking for a date.
All right, Mayor, we're down to the final question. It's going to be a tough decision, so I don't know how you're going to make this decision, so let's get one last good question.
What qualities are you looking for in the ideal Novi man? Bachelorette number 2, what's your answer?
Oh, my ideal Novi man. Well, he's rich, and he has a big yard so we can have lots of dogs.
That's a good one. I could go with that one now. Bachelorette number 1, what's your answer?
My ideal Novi man has to be a well-read man. So I'm looking for someone who loves the classics, is organized, like the Dewey Decimal System, and definitely someone who is on time and definitely doesn't turn in their books late. I would be pretty upset if that was happening. But someone who likes to have fun and is very quiet.
Bachelorette number 3, what's your answer?
Ideal Novi man would have to have a good insurance plan. Also, I would prefer someone really tall, at least 6'2", not too much shrinkage going on, in height. I like somebody muscular, bald, because I don't want them to use their hormones for growing hair. And I'm thinking would like to have someone with a lot of money, that would help. And I don't care if they're slightly sick or maybe more seriously ill. Age is no factor. They could be quite elderly, that's okay. I like somebody that likes to play games and have fun, likes to go to parties, likes to socialize. I like to socialize. Somebody that loves fried chicken, I think that's important. And has a lot of friends, but I would be the most important friend that they would have. I would have to be number one. They would always laugh at everything I said. They would be loving me beyond measure. They would love Novi. Everything about Novi is fabulous. Everything would be wonderful. And then I would like to have somebody that really likes to exercise, but wouldn't expect me to exercise.
Now we need the answer. We need to know who you're going to take on this fantastic date. Date. Mayor, we need a date.
Oh, yeah, May 3rd.
Now that we've enjoyed that, the reason we're here is to hear the state of the city, and it's my honor to introduce Mayor Bob Gatt.
Oh, somebody was tall here. All right. Well, good morning. So my dream of being on television continues. Once again, not as I would have wished for, but at least I wasn't cast as the weakest link or get told you're fired. So I promise you, I'm sticking to my day job and, of course, my elected responsibilities. And all kidding aside, we do have fun, and I truly appreciate what great sports our city staff are. Where's Blair? Blair, as always, your ability to laugh at yourself and your sense of humor are second to none. Thank you for taking part in this show. Thank you. You should have taken curtain number 2, but that's all right. Yeah, no signs. I want to thank my colleagues, our Novi City staff, for being such great sports. And special thanks to our very own state representative, Kathy Crawford, who's not here today. She's in Lansing doing the people's business. She appreciates her involvement here, and she sends her well wishes to everybody. Many thanks to Dave Reinhardt and Frank Molnar, our Novi's video production specialists, for all their efforts in putting our little piece together. And of course, my friend, my right hand actually, Cheryl Walsh, our Novi's Director of Communications. Her indulgence of my different than typical State of the City address and creativity are what guides these events, and I could not do this without her. She's a very special and uniquely qualified young lady, and I and the city are blessed to have her lead our community relations team, who ensure that Novi leads the way in communications quality and is viewed as a premier place to live, work, and play. Now, you might notice that Cheryl's not here today. Cheryl had some surgery last week, and even though she went home, she kind of crashed a little bit, and she's back in the hospital. From her hospital bed, she pretty much put this whole speech together, talking back and forth. Chief Malloy helped her type some things up. And let's give a round of applause to Cheryl Walsh. Thank you. She's watching this as it's live streamed right now, so thank you, Cheryl. Now, that being said, if anyone is tweeting in real time from our event here today, Cheryl wants you all to use the hashtag NOVISOTC 2016. Now, I don't even know what that means, but you probably do. So use that hashtag. And don't worry, I won't think you're bored with my speech or call on you as our next contestant if you're looking at your phone. Thank you also to the Novi Catholic Central High School Band for their beautiful patriotic renditions. Yeah. Again, reminding us how blessed we are to live in the greatest of all countries and to have this prestigious Catholic school right here in Novi. And thank you to our host, the Suburban Collection Showplace and the Hyatt Place Hotel. Breakfast, as always, was first class. Thank you, Blair, and thank your team. Thank you very much. I can hardly believe that this is my 5th State of the City address. I'm truly honored to stand before you and have the opportunity to share this time, and as your mayor, provide an update on our Novi. It goes without saying that our city team could not accomplish many of its tasks without your continued support and community commitment. Thank you. Together, once again, we accomplished great things. I am humbled daily by your kindness, compassion, friendship, and generosity. Although each day we wake up, go to work, plan and complete assignments to ensure Novi receives quality services, today is the one day each year we come together to take stock of where we've been, where we stand, and together create a vision for the future. We have overcome the economic challenges experienced a few years ago and have developed into an even more dynamic, prospering community here in southwest Oakland County. I am more optimistic about the future of our Novi than ever before. I'm confident in our council's vision, our city staff team, and you, the Novi community, who all want what is best for the city we love and call home. As I look out over the audience, I see many friends, including former mayors and present council members. Former mayors in the audience, could you do us the honor of standing so you may be recognized? That's Mayor David Landry and Mayor Matt Quinn. I want to thank you both for your continued community involvement and for the gifts you continue to bestow upon Novi. I also see a former Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Kim Capella. Where's Kim out here? Well, he was here. Well, Kim also has done so much for the city. I'm fortunate to not only benefit from your wisdom, but your continued friendship as well. Thank you, Mayor Landry, and thank you, Mayor Quinn. Also with us today from Washington, D.C. is my good friend, Congressman David Trott. David, would you please stand up? Thank you for all you do to represent Novi and our region in Washington. And representing Senator Mike Kowal, Lynn O'Brien. Where's Lynn? Well, it's probably that darn traffic on 275, so she's not here either. We're all fortunate to have in spirit Representative Kathy Crawford, and of course her husband Hugh Crawford working for Novi every day, whether in Lansing as our rep or in Pontiac as our county commissioner. Where's Hugh? Hugh, would you stand up? I also want to recognize our distinguished judiciary from the 52-1 District Court who are with us here today. Please stand. The Honorable Judge David Law, the Honorable Judge Travis Reeds, and the Honorable Judge Robert Bondi. Also with us today is our former Oakland County Clerk and our next Oakland County Clerk, Mr. Bill Bullard. Is Kevin Adele here? Oh, it's that 275 traffic. I'm surprised he didn't take his chopper in. Another man that I want to recognize that I haven't recognized in the past, and that's my fault. Every time I see him, I say he's the nicest man in the whole world, and he is. Where's Mr. Bill Bowman, Blair's dad? Yeah. Bill is a pioneer of Novi. He's been here longer than any of us, and God bless him, he's done more than we can ever thank him for. Of course, you all know I don't serve our community alone. I work in concert with my fellow city council members as well as our city manager. I want to introduce, and when I call your name, please stand up and stay standing. Mayor Pro Tem David Stout, Councilmember Brian Burke, Councilmember Gwen Markham, Councilmember Wayne Robel, Councilmember Laura Marie Casey, and Councilmember Andrew Much. Our City Council, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, our Chief Executive Officer, City Manager Pete Augers. Pete. And our Assistant Manager, Victor Cardenas. Where's Victor? There he is. Thank you, each of you, for your tireless efforts to make and keep Novi the great city that it is. Most of us know all too well these familiar game shows from yesteryear. We grew up with them. We know their taglines. I would like to buy a vowel. I would like to phone a friend. What's behind curtain number 2? Deal or no deal? And the survey says, now I see your faces and you're wondering, state of the city and game shows, where is he going with this? Stick with me. We've all watched the contestants on each of these shows who had high aspirations and lofty goals, all looking to win big, all things that we do here in Novi every single day. Think about the new business just starting out, or the first-time homeowner. They bet everything on succeeding in Novi, and they put their trust in us to make that happen. We help make their dreams come true. And in turn, they push our ratings to the top of the chart as one of the best communities to live, work, and play. Think about it. Over the past year, your city council approved $250 million in residential development and more than $65 million in new research and development headquarter facilities, which will attract additional interest into our community through high-tech, good-wage jobs. Planning staff reviewed and approved more than 100 site plans, marking a 30% increase over last year, and double the number of reviews in 2012. 515 permits were issued for alterations or additions to existing residential properties, which shows the confidence in upgrading their homes and investing in our community. Our community development team performed nearly 13,400 inspections just this past year, including those on landmark business facilities such as Harmon International, which opened this year, and Magna Automotive facility currently under construction. Both will be crown jewels in Novi as we continue to attract world-class businesses who look to call Novi home. And this past year, the community development as a team worked with our facilities management staff as they underwent an entire remodel of their department to enhance operational efficiencies. If you have not had the opportunity to visit this state-of-the-art office space, please take the time to do so. I promise you, you will be impressed. Please join me in thanking a gentleman at the helm of our building and planning process, Director of Community Development, Charles Bullard. Charles, will you stand? I'd also like to take this time to thank our city manager again, Pete Auger, for his vision and foresight in creating, less than a year ago, a Novi Economic Development team, which serves as a one-stop shop for helping to attract, retain, and expand businesses throughout our great community. This innovative approach to economic development was the forethought of Pete Augers. He knew he would need diverse talents who could meet and exceed the expectations of our business community and partners from around the county, the state, the nation, and even the globe. I'd like to tip my hat to our city manager, our community development director, Charles Bullard, our assistant manager, Victor Cardenas, and our director of communications, Cheryl Walsh, for their spirit and energy in revitalizing Novi's economic development strategy. Well done, all of you. Now, our community thrives because of partners like ITC, who manages the Midwest Power Grid and is headquartered right here in Novi. Thank you to Joe Welch and his outstanding team for their continued partnership and support of Novi endeavors. And St. John's Providence Park Hospital, which provides first-class health care to the region, including Japanese services to ensure all who choose to live and work in the area receive the highest quality care. Thank you, new President Joe Hershey and your team, for your continued investment in Novi and partnership to encourage a healthy community. Thank you, Joe. We look forward to your leadership and working with you. And the revitalization continues in the Novi Town Center with nearly 100% occupancy, including the soon-to-open East Coast giant Priminati Brothers sandwiches, which will welcome Town Center visitors as they enter the complex off of Novi Road. And north of 96, West Oaks and 12 Mile Crossing at Fountain Walk have both experienced regeneration with Airtime Trampoline, the soon-to-open Nordstrom Rack, and the Container Store. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention a retail economic engine, 12 Oaks Mall. You see, it's extremely rare to see a nearly 40-year-old shopping center which continually invests in and partners with the city. If you have visited 12 Oaks, you find a state-of-the-art shopping center with all the amenities of a facility built today, including world-class storefronts and more. I'd like to recognize the general manager of 12 Oaks, Mr. Dan Jones. Dan, are you here? Is that I-275? I'm telling you, we got to do something about it. You might remember Dan from last year as we surprised him and recognized him as our 2015 Spirit of Giving Award winner. In thinking about this year's Spirit of Giving Award, the decision really wasn't a difficult one. A very unique individual came to mind when I started thinking about it. Today, I would like to personally recognize an individual who goes above and beyond the walls of her community for the betterment of our community each and every day. Each year, the city celebrates an individual or business who truly embodies the sense of kindness and giving. This year, it is my honor and privilege to recognize and thank Ms. Doreen Popard. Doreen, would you please stand up? Yeah. Ask anyone, and they'll tell you Doreen is often recognized and known for her warm, friendly conversation, professionalism, community involvement, and commitment to Novi, and so much more. But this morning, we're going to recognize her for her giving spirit. 13 years ago, Doreen was one of the first residents at Fox Run, and not only embraced Novi, but has been a shining example of a true community partner, ambassador, and friend. Her commitment to and support of and partnership with area organizations has enriched the community. Doreen has served as a past city council member, volunteering to fill a temporary vacancy. She represents Novi nationally on the Erickson Retirement Community Executive Board. And it's no surprise she is always the first to say yes whenever assistance is needed at Fox Run or throughout Novi. And when her term on City Council was completed, this dedicated young lady quickly threw her hat in the ring to serve on our library board. I have every confidence she will serve the library with the exact same level of knowledge, preparedness, and passion as she has exemplified for the last 13 years. It is truly my honor to present this year's Spirit of Giving Award to Miss Doreen Popard. Now, I'm supposed to say, come on down, but she's already here, so.
Thank you.
Now, listen, I'm going to let you talk to her. This is heavy.
I know.
It's two pieces, so you can leave it here or take it back to your table. You go ahead and say some words first.
Okay. No, I'm not going. There are no words when you follow Mayor Gatt. What a wonderful group of people who are here, and to honor an ordinary, regular, old citizen from the city is such an honor that I think only the city of Novi would do. I celebrate my 80th birthday this year, and it is an honor. And it is an honor to keep on giving as long as I can. So thank you, Novi, and thank you, the Fox Run community, that is such an important and integral part of the Novi community. Thank you.
She's not old and she's not ordinary. There's an extraordinary young lady right there. Miss Doreen Popard, one more time, come on. So, getting back to our game show theme, there's one thing we refuse to deal on in Novi. The health and safety of our community is our top priority. In July 2015, the Novi Police and Fire Department began carrying naloxone kits due to a regional increase in heroin usage and overdoses. The nasal naloxone kits contain personal protective equipment and a naloxone mucosal atomization device. I practiced that 5 times. Every police officer and firefighter are trained to administer the drug. Now, to date, 17 people have been saved through the administration of naloxone, affording them the opportunity to seek treatment for their addiction. That's remarkable, 17 people. Throughout 2015, the Novi Fire Department continued to grow prevention and community service programs, including 252 child care safety seat inspections, 47 fire prevention education programs, 6 fire extinguisher classes, 40 CPR first aid classes, training over 210 community members in that life-saving technique, 15 details to check multiple blood pressures, and 18 residential fire safety home inspections. Throughout 2015, the Novi Police Department continued offering pistol safety courses that fulfill state requirements for concealed pistol licenses, CPL, to community members. This course is approved by the Michigan Council on Law Enforcement Standards. The police department has successfully trained 286 community members since providing this service. The Novi Police Department continues to offer its parking lot for Craigslist transactions and recently added designated parking spots to support the safe sale and transfer of property. Novi residents and business owners who buy and sell on Craigslist or other exchange sites can conduct their transactions in the parking lot or the front lobby of the police department. The parking lot and front lobby are active throughout the day, monitored by staff and security cameras 24 hours a day, and are well lit in the evening. Community Emergency Response Team volunteers logged 1,584 hours in 2015 while assisting at various city-sponsored events and participating in several training exercises. Their efforts are preparing our community in the event of a man-made or natural disaster. The Novi Police Department continues to efficiently allocate their public safety resources to enhance the quality of life for all community members through the implementation of data-driven approaches to crime and traffic safety. Now, in doing so, aggravated assault, burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle theft are at their lowest levels in 10 years. Larcenies are down in the city of Novi 22%. Aggravated assaults are down 44%. Burglaries are down 61%. Motor vehicle thefts were down 29%. Now, these successes, combined with traffic crash reductions of 30% in identified hotspot intersections, earned the department the Outstanding Traffic Safety Achievement Award by the Governor's Traffic Safety Advisory Commission earlier this year. In 2015, the Novi Fire Department's Child Safety Seat Inspection Program conducted 252 inspections, a 27% increase over the 5-year average. Their goal for this year is to surpass 300 inspections by the end of this year. Throughout 2015, the Fire Department had a banner year in recruiting and training talented personnel to meet our community needs. 20 new personnel were brought on board. 9 paid-on-call firefighters and 11 auxiliary firefighters were hired, trained, and are now available for shift work and staffing our fire departments. The department continues to partner with fire departments in Farmington Hills, Highland, and Brighton to train our new recruits as quickly and efficiently as possible. We are fortunate to have the very best men and women serving our community. Both the police and fire departments consistently rate much above average in national surveys and are modeled by other agencies around the state. Please join me in thanking and recognizing Novi's Director of Public Safety and Chief of Police, the gentleman who leads our most essential and ever-present fire and police teams, David Malloy. Now, along with police and fire services, you can't maintain a safe community without public services. Often forgotten essential services, roads, water, sewer, are basic critical infrastructure necessities which residents and businesses rely upon. Members of Novi's Department of Public Service not only care for and maintain more than 180 miles of city roadway and 2,100 traffic control signs to ensure safe travel, they also prune and preserve more than 6,000 street trees annually, look after 306 miles of water main to provide safe drinking water, 243 miles of sanitary sewer to protect public health, and 2,600 storm drainage basins. Critical infrastructure is often taken for granted, but not in Novi. The Department of Public Services Water and Sewer Division completed and opened a 1.5 million gallon water storage facility located at 12 Mile and West Park Drive. Now operational, the $3.5 million facility will help reduce Novi's water rates by allowing staff to fill the reservoir at night when water is least expensive and then discharge water during the day during Novi's peak hours, saving more than $3 million in water costs annually. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one good deal. This project was recognized nationally by the Alliance for Innovation and the American Public Works Association, respectively. Throughout the year, the dedicated men and women of our Department of Public Services completed over 7,500 service requests and work orders related to infrastructure maintenance. They also completed more than $11 million worth of road, pathway, and water and sewer capital improvement projects, nearly double the amount that's typically constructed in a given year. Please join me in thanking the gentleman who is at the helm of these projects, Novi's Director of Public Service, Mr. Rob Hayes. Rob? Rob must be on I-275 with the rest of them, huh? Oh, there's Rob right there. All right, which brings us to the game show Jeopardy, being talked about in a State of the City address. Several years ago, communities throughout our region faced financial jeopardy due to decreasing property values and a recession like many of us have never witnessed, but not in our Novi. Today, Novi is extremely fortunate and poised to lead from a position of strength and an economic engine continuing to grow and prosper. We are careful stewards of our finances, maintaining quality services and operations. In 2015, Novi received an improved bond rating to AAA from Standard & Poor's, the highest issued government credit rating possible. That deserves a round of applause. Due to the continued residential and commercial development, Novi's market value and assessed value have increased by 20% and 9% respectively. Your Novi is now among only a dozen other governmental entities in Michigan with this distinguished rating. Throughout the year, our finance team implemented a new cash investment policy, resulting in an increase of more than $600,000 in investment earnings. We refinanced the Meadowbrook Commons debt, which will yield a savings of more than $1 million over a 10-year period. And last month, your Novi City Council lowered the tax rate to 9.95 mils, making Novi's millage rate the lowest in Oakland County. That deserves a round of applause. Thank you, City Council. Please join me in thanking Novi's Chief Financial Officer, Carl Johnson. Carl, stand up. And although Carl and Pete oversee and guide our fiscal health, I don't want to overlook another team which rarely receives recognition for Novi's fiscal responsibility and helping achieve our overall goals, and that is our city staff team. If you know any of them, you know they are efficient fiscal managers, they are innovative, they look for ways to continually enhance service and put our customers, all of you, first. This year, we launched an opportunity for city staff to learn about our city operations outside of their own discipline. We are proud to have 12 members of our city team participating in Novi University. With us here today, including Director of IT and Facilities, Mr. Rob Petty. Rob, would you stand up, please? Stay standing. And Director of Human Resources, Tia Grunland-Fox. Tia, would you stand? Stay standing. Could I please ask all the city staff to rise? Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking these individuals for their dedication and sustained commitment to our Novi. Our Novi is great because of them, people. With all the positive energy surrounding the millage rate, our sustained property tax values, we've been feeling pretty good about this, and I wanted to see what the buzz was throughout our community. Let's take a look. Can I ask you one question? No? Nothing? Oh, whoops. Oops, sorry, Julie.
I don't even look good. I don't have makeup on.
Either do I. Is my hair okay?
Do you know what the Novi City Council wants to do? They want to close Grand River to traffic from 8 in the morning till 10 in the morning, bicycles only, to alleviate the problem. What do you think of that?
This is not Mackinac Island.
That wouldn't work. That just does not seem right.
Are you serious?
Very serious.
That'd be terrible. We need it open. Are you serious?
Well, they would want you to get a bicycle.
Heck no.
That's no good at all. Bicycles shouldn't be on the road. The roads were built for cars and vehicles, not for bicycles.
This is
awesome!
Do you live? Well, that's good because you get exercise, and that's good for your body. And
So you think the city council should do that?
yes.
Isn't traffic a bear lately? Do you follow politics in Novi?
No.
No. I'm glad you don't. Do you know who David Stout is? Do you know who Brian Burke is? How often do you go to the library?
From time to time, I bring my son there.
You bring your son. You know who Julie Farkas is?
No.
No?
Well, I think this is pretty awesome being here, and I never, be quiet, and I never.
Another idea coming out of city council is they want to tax every cup of coffee sold in the city $1 so they can buy the mayor a house. What do you think of that? Charge the kids 25 cents every time you jump up in the air.
Oh, no.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. And then there's cameras here, and they're keeping track of how many jumps. And all that money is going into a fund to buy the mayor a new house.
No, it's not.
You don't think?
Good way to make money, though.
You don't think the mayor deserves a home?
He deserves a home, but we shouldn't have to pay for it.
I don't think you should have a house based on coffee taxes.
No way. No, I wouldn't.
No, I don't like that, but I'd still buy coffee because I need coffee.
But you would pay the dollar.
Pay the dollar, yeah.
Who's coming up with these ideas?
That crazy city council.
Well, that just might work. I think that having senior house, maybe we should go to 30 cents a jump.
You're not talking to me today, Kat? Ladies and gentlemen, first, Kathy's not going to answer my question. So, all right, thank you. We'll come back to you. Do you guys want to meet the mayor of Novi?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, my goodness.
What, you're the mayor?
The mayor of Novi.
She is?
He is, yes.
I am. I'm Bob. Nice meeting you. Man on the street. Boy, wasn't that fun. One thing stuck out as I talked with our young people throughout Novi. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I am. Some of those fifth graders asked me questions that stumped me. We're in good hands for the future. In Novi, we boast of our outstanding public and private educational opportunities. We are proud of the diversity Novi is fortunate to have. We applaud it and we fully embrace it. For it's the diversity of our community that is one of our greatest assets. We host India Day, the Festival of Chariots, and the Japan Festival, just to name a few. Diversity in our schools increased from 8 to 46% in the past 5 years. And the census shows our Asian population doubled to nearly 16%, making it the largest in the state of Michigan. At the same, at the same time, our Hispanic population has grown by 67%. We continue to foster international partnerships with friends from the Japanese Business Society of Detroit, the Consulate General of Japan, the Asian Pacific American Chamber of Commerce, the German American Chamber, and the Swedish American Chamber, just to name a few. For several years now, through a partnership with the Novi Community School District, on Saturdays, more than 800 students attend the Japanese School of Detroit, right here in Novi. It is diversity such as this that sets the stage for and welcomes businesses from around the globe. Our Novi Public Library has collections dedicated to our diverse culture, with publications in Japanese, Spanish, Hindu, and more. In 2015, the Novi Public Library celebrated 55 years as a public library. What was once a collection of 150 books and a dream of many is now a 59,000 square foot gem in our Novi, with over 150,000 items in its collection and access to more than 4 million items thanks to a cooperative sharing effort in Southeast Michigan, the Library Network. The Novi Library now offers story times for our very young in 7 languages and language conversation groups for adults wanting to learn or sharpen their language skills in Japanese, German, Spanish, and French. This past summer, the library achieved the highest summer reading attendance on record with more than 2,500 young readers. Our library has also stayed on the cutting edge of technology. In 2015, the Novi Library was the winner of a 3D printer and $2,000 in seed money by the American Library Association for future innovative teen programming. This month, we will be proud to unveil this 3D printer to our entire community. At this time, I would like to recognize our Novi Library Director, Ms. Julie Farkas. Julie, would you stand? City officials and staff meet regularly with our school officials, recognizing that it is our schools, in addition to city amenities and services, which draw families and businesses to Novi. We support each other's efforts, applaud each other's successes, and work together for the betterment of our future, our children. With us today from our Novi Community Schools, Superintendent Dr. Steve Matthews. Steve, would you stand, be recognized? Ken Gutman is the superintendent of Walled Lake Schools. He called me this morning, and there's an emergency in the schools. He couldn't come. Also with us is our Novi Catholic Central President, Father John Huber. Father, would you stand? And from the Novi School Board, Dennis O'Connor. Thank you all for your leadership, partnership, and guidance of our most valuable assets, our youth. Also, if I could ask our future leaders in attendance today, please stand and be recognized. Our future leaders, stand up. Guys, it won't be long before we entrust you with the leadership to carry our exemplary community progressively into the future. Thank you for all that you're doing. And speaking of the future, next month, Novi will lose our esteemed city clerk, Ms. Mary Ann Cornelius, who is retiring. After overseeing countless elections, processing thousands of passports, notarizing endless documents, and memorializing several hundred city council meetings, Mary Ann Cornelius will move on to the next chapters of life's journey. Please join me in recognizing and thanking the best city clerk in all of Michigan, Mary Ann Cornelius. Please stand, Mary Ann. Yeah. She's a city clerk, but she's also my friend, and I'm going to miss her very much. Recently, we surveyed residents on the top 100 things to do in Novi. The top 5 answers on the board were light up the night, softball at LMA Power Park, mountain biking on the trails at Lakeshore Park, skating at the Novi Ice Arena, and visiting Novi's ever-popular dog park. Okay, Steve Harvey had it wrong. There really wasn't a survey. But we all know there are hundreds and hundreds of offerings through our Novi parks. Our Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services team have been working towards national accreditation. In October of this year, we will receive final designation as one of the 3 agencies in Michigan accredited through the Commission for Accreditation of Parks and Recreation Agencies. And our older adults are more active than ever. They continue to serve the needs of the growing senior population through transportation with more than 11,400 transportation rides, 21,000 Meals on Wheels provided, and 515 pieces of equipment were shared through a community loan closet. Construction is underway of a new shelter at Pavilion Shore Park, and the initial enhancement to the new structure at Lakeshore Park is scheduled for next year. in conjunction with the Motor City Mountain Biking Association, the first toddlers single-track mountain bike training trail in Michigan was opened here in Novi. Let's give a round of applause for our Director of Parks and Recreation and Cultural Services, Mr. Jeff Muck, and his team. Would you please stand? So, in the big scheme of game shows and wanting to win big, Novi is the ultimate prize. We all know we are just a dot on a map without our residents and businesses. Neighborhoods, residential and commercial, give Novi its heart, its energy. We collaborate with more than 200 homeowner associations to ensure our neighborhoods maintain the quality Novi is known for and to share our important communications. You see, our win is included in collaboration efforts. Whether we are posing a question to the tens of thousands of friends who like us on one of our 5 Facebook pages, or working with our partners at Oakland County to attract new businesses, we will always strive for the win. Are you looking to host a public information meeting? Do you need to utilize an internet mapping portal, which is used by visitors around the globe seeking to possibly locate in our Novi? Or do you simply need answers to questions regarding one of our city services? I truly believe Novi provides the most open and transparent government services of any other municipality in the state of Michigan, if not the entire country. Our cityofnovi.org website is one of, if not the most comprehensive city websites I've ever seen. With more than 1.2 million page views every year, I like to call it the Novi Encyclopedia. If there's something you need to know about Novi, it's on cityofnovi.org. And whether you need that information at 5 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night, cityofnovi.org is always open. Now, that's a great deal. This past year, we graduated our second session of Novi Ambassador Academy. More than 20 committed residents participated in this program and took a behind-the-scenes look at all city departments. They learned from department leaders about all aspects of Novi operations. The free program received overwhelming praise by all the participants, who each were amazed how much they learned and were excited to become more involved. Several, just as in the first year, are now serving in roles on our boards and commissions, working for you to enhance Novi and make it better. So you see, there's a lot we can learn from television game shows. Sometimes you just need to play the game. You need to put yourself all in. You need to take risks. And most importantly, you need to have fun. Live life to the fullest. Every game show you've ever watched consisted of contestants who were engaged, energetic, excited, optimistic, full of promise and hope. That is our Novi. I'm extremely proud of all the accomplishments of 2015 and look forward to what the future holds for our Novi. And I promise you, our ratings will continue to be high. I truly enjoy being the mayor of this great city. Not only do I get to serve the community, but I have the opportunity to work with some of the best people I've ever met, and I'm privileged to call colleagues. As the proud mayor of the city of Novi, I tell you, there are no family feuds, there's hundreds of ways to make a deal, and the price is always right. The state of the city of Novi is robust and strong. I thank you for being a part of our story and our family. Thank you for coming today. God bless you all, and God continue to bless the great city of Novi. Thank you very much.